Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thank you for checking out another episode. Today's features Joe Burrow. You know Joe from Divide the Empire and his podcast Crushercast. And we had a lot of fun just catching up. It's been a couple years since we recorded together, so find him June 18th at Diamond Music Hall as Divide the Empire returns to the stage, joining Inimical Drive over there at, again, June 18th, Diamond Music Hall. It's going to be a fun one. And they got all kinds of other stuff coming up, so get involved, and you're going to hear all about it on today's show. I do want to remind you, as always, Rock Paper Podcast is brought to you by Roughneck Beard Company and American Rambler, located right here in St. Louis in the Maplewood area. Stop in and visit them for some wonderful beard oils, beard balms, junk powder, or anything to take care of that beard and mustache ears. Roughneck Beard Company is proud to present a brand new beard oil blend, Comeback Kid. Spring is upon us and the world is in rebirth. The pandemic seems to be winding down and life is beginning to resume. Try our brand new invigorating blend of lemon, peppermint, black pepper, rosemary, and ylang. It's the perfect blend to bring us all back to life. Comeback Kid, now available at roughneckbeardcompany.com, and use my code RPP15 for an exclusive 15% off your purchase of all your favorite products over there. In June, Roughneck Beard Company celebrates 8 years, and Father's Day is coming up, so maybe think about getting your dad or the guys in your life some wonderful Roughneck Beard Company products. Again, RPP15 during checkout for 15% off. And thank you to my friends over at Friendship Brewing Company in Wentzville, Missouri, serving up all your craft beer needs. You can stop in and visit them for some beers, some burgers, nachos, pretzels, flatbread pizzas, all kinds of tasty eats over there too. They've got all kinds of great live music on the weekends. You can find their full menu of beer, food, and concert calendar at friendshipbrewingcompany.com. And come on out and enjoy some patio beers. It's some perfect summer nights coming up. You know, it's a good excuse to come on out there and enjoy some cold beverages and have a great time at Friendship Brewing Company. And they recently announced that they are looking to expand, and they will soon be opening another location in the Hannibal area. So if you're out that way, great news. Friendship Brewing Company is coming to you. You know, I talk about all these people, Roughneck and Friendship, and these are not just sponsors. They are friends of mine, and I believe in the products. So if you are in the St. Louis area, get out and support this local business. You can also support, like I said, through the websites. Just follow along on Facebook and Instagram with both of them, and it would mean the world to me. So they keep this show going, and so they are, means a lot to me. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you to them for helping keep it going. And if you need anything else from me, you can always find me at rockpaperpodcast.com. Hit me up on the socials. Feel free to email me at rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. And with all that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy a brand new episode with my buddy, Joe Burrow.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
This is Joe Burrow from Divide the Empire, and you're listening to the king of St. Louis media, Sugar Shane, for Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock, paper, podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot, could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock, paper, podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock, paper, podcast.
Stop all this hatred and eliminate all the pain. We're doing this on purpose, coming down our hood. I know it seems uncertain, yeah, I know it seems absurd. We gotta work together to find another way. Coffee burns my skin each and every day. Then we really live free. And I'ma stop all this hatred and eliminate all the great. Doing this on purpose, coming down our heads. I know it seems uncertain, it sounds, I know it seems absurd. We gotta climb this mountain, catch another view. Coffee burns my skin. Oh yeah.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today with returning guest Joe Burrow. Welcome back, man.
What's happening, man?
I
feel blessed. I'm at the Presley compound.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Super top secret.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad my security let you in. And,
It was sketchy. It was hard getting in.
Yeah, man, this is really nice. I'm glad you are here. Last time we talked on the show was over a camera, so over Zoom during the pandemic. So
Yes.
This is much nicer to.
Did we do mine since then?
Yeah, well, I was just saying for
For rock, paper?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, yeah,
yeah.
we did. Of course, we did a Crushercast a while back and got to hang out and stuff, and we've seen each other. But as far as this show wise, yeah, last time we did it was like right at the beginning of the pandemic and stuff.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
a little over 2 years ago.
Yeesh. Way too long, man.
Yeah.
Way too long.
So, which was it was a fun chat.
Always fun.
I went back and I listened to that, and it's just kind of funny to, you do enough of these, it's kind of timestamps in history for me, like I think that was like the very first one I did during the pandemic. So that was kind of a
Really?
yeah. And I think I even said something about it on the show that it was like I was trying to navigate technology, like trying to learn how to do it for myself. And I think I was doing Gabe's show, so I kind of I'd done some things like that, but I hadn't really done it for my own show yet. So anyway, but yeah, I'm glad that's kind of over now. Having to do the Zoom podcast stuff unless I choose to because people can't make it here. So
Now, what do you feel like I did, you and I had talked before, that there's just something different that happens when you're in a room with somebody?
Yeah. I mean, that's that's clear. Like there's, there's a certain energy created and it's just natural to feed off of each other and stuff, and not just to, it's kind of gets lost over the internet somewhere. But
right.
But yeah, man, anyway, I'm glad that we're here hanging out and we're getting to talk. We got some brand new Divide the Empire on the way.
Yes, sir.
We got a big old show happening. But so a lot to catch up on now, which I guess we'll start with the band. I think that's probably a good place to, because I think obviously I've been following you guys for years, and we've done a couple of different episodes with the band. We've done solo Joe shows, and we've but I think in that last episode you kind of you guys had put out some new music at that point, but you did seem kind of unclear of the future of the band. You were just like, there was you were saying some things like we're going to do these 3 winters records and see what happens and see if we decide to continue to be a band or not and things. And it just seemed like there was a lot of uncertainty in what you were saying. So fast forward 2 years now, it's really nice to see that you guys are still rocking. We got a brand new tune. We got a new video on the way, and it just seems like everything. You got a big show coming up. It's just nice to see you guys still doing it and still going strong.
Yeah. We things got sketchy and scary for everybody, you know, in COVID, and there was no shows to do, and everybody got weird. I lost a job and started hiking and doing all kinds of weird hippie stuff, and people were quarantining, and we just weren't sure, in essence, we weren't supposed to get together at our jam facility, because of mandates and stuff like that, to not congregate, and things got weird, but we still snuck in, and any chance we got, which it got to where we were maybe rehearsing, once every 2 or 3 months, we'd get together for a night, and you can't build anything on that really. You can have fun and hang with your guys, but we had a song disposition that we put together for the most part right before COVID, and then we were going to drop it, and then COVID hit, and we were like, okay. So we just sat on it, and we put that out, I don't know, 6 months, a year ago, something like that. Just did a lyric video just to put it out and say, hey, we're still here and we're still alive. But I'd say probably a year ago, everything just started lining back up again, and we were able to get back together. We usually rehearse every Friday night, And we were able to get back together, and this song that's getting ready to come out, The Clearing, it's one of those magic things happened again. We just got together and a riff happened, and next thing you know, we're doing a 6-minute jam, and we all felt that spark again. And we all kind of recommitted, and it's still sketchy. Lives are busy, and but we get together whenever we can, and then it helps. Heard from Joel and the guys in Inimical wanted us to join them on that show on the 18th in June. And then that just lit the fire even further, and they're so good at promoting, and they're passionate about what they do, you know what I mean? And they do it the right way, I think, and that got our juices flowing, and we want to get back out there.
Yeah. So this, so The Clearing is the song, and that'll be hitting your streaming services and all the other things, and a video coming soon, very soon.
Very soon, within a few weeks.
Yeah, so keep an eye out. Be sure to get plugged in with Divide the Empire on your socials if you haven't already. A little bit. Let's talk about. You said this is you just kind of came together like in a jam, but this is you gave me a little sneak peek. This is the first time hearing the song, and then I saw a little rough of the video, and so. The song sounds great. Let's start with the song. How was this? You just was this an idea, a riff you had around, or is this something you literally just came out of that practice?
Well, we actually had another progression, this chord progression that I kept playing, doing some finger picking with it, just trying different ways with it, and we had a whole other song about half written, and I took the same progression and just played it a little different, and everybody started jamming to it, but it completely different. And they're like, "Oh, that other song." I'm like, "It's the same song," And so then we built The Clearing, and I think it was actually called Overcomplicate to begin with, because we were just overcomplicating it, everywhere we went, and it just kind of bubbled up and just started happening, and I think. The first night that I played that progression in that certain way, Randy jumped in. You heard how he sings it, and he just jumped in right off the cuff and just started singing the way he sang. And Steven did like this air raid siren thing come in over the top of it on the synth, and it just took off. And Keith jumped right in, and it was just one of the magic moments where everybody knew exactly what they were supposed to do. And that gives us the willies. We stand back and go, "Whoa, what just happened there?" So we're real proud of that one.
Was there any conscious effort to make it a longer jam on this one, or just that you felt so good, you just like this?
Well, that's what Juan Ibanez. We sent it to him and asked him, if he'd do the video for us, and he ended up he's going to edit, but he had Spencer Peck and Matt Wong film it, and they did an amazing job. And I sent the song to him, and he goes, "Really? Like almost a 6-minute song?" And we're not trying to get like terrestrial airplay, which the old rule was 3.5 to 4 minutes will get you terrestrial airplay. We're like, screw it, man. It felt good, and we did these little slow jams, these halftime things in it, and just let it be what it is.
There's a great quote from. Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi said, "Don't bore us, get to the chorus," or something.
Right.
It was and that's just that's definitely been the model for a lot of pop and radio friendly tunes, because you have to kind of hook them quick and stuff. But I love this kind of stuff. I like it all. I like I like having those. They all serve a purpose, but I love a nice long jam song like this, and it's just so it was fun to hear. You guys aren't, this isn't the first time you guys done a longer, you have a couple of longer songs.
We've got a couple that are right around 5 minutes, and we've got a little thunderstorm in there at the end, of course, the obligatory thunderstorm in there, but I think it comes in, the full video will come in at 5:50, something like that. But
well, yeah, man. The video is beautiful. Shot really well from those guys. Spencer has been crushing it too. I met him as an artist, as
playing music, and now and then I know I was kind of just following along his journey. He picked up a camera, and then like now he's just like, it's just wild to see how far he's progressed in it already. And it's like it's that guy's doing big things, and it's really cool to see. I don't know Matt yet, but I mean if he's a part of this, like he really did a great job too, because like it's some really neat shots that are like is well done, man. So
I'd say 90% of the behind the scenes photos that we've been sharing on the socials here lately, those were Matt.
Okay.
Running around. He was taking shots while Spencer was setting us up and filming and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, you were saying you shared a story online about some of those pictures also about you wore your dad's shirt. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I have an old work shirt of my father's, and it just fits me weird and stuff like that. But I keep it in my closet. My dad worked to work for I don't know how many years. I just remember he had like 3 shirts that he wore to work, and this was one of them. And when he passed away, or after he passed away, Mom's like, "You want any of these things? If not, I'm going to donate them." Some years after he passed, and I said, "I want that one," and I grabbed it, and it's just this weird little shirt, but. When we were shooting the video, one of the themes of the video was going to be where someone walks into this old building and looks into the different rooms and gets a snapshot of different memories that are in there. So Spencer, the director, he was telling us just bring clothes that look like they're from different eras or stuff like that. And I was just grabbing clothes and threw them in a bag, and I'll just try stuff on when I get there. And I got there and I tried on I had 3 different shirts on before we got started. And I just looked over and I'm like, screw it. And I put that one on at the beginning. And after I got it on, man, it just kind of hit me that I'm going to honor him, And so for whole first half of the video or the shoot, anyways, it's blended throughout the whole video. But the day shoot, I guess you'd say, I was wearing that shirt, and it felt good, what I mean? To nobody else knew it. It's not stylish. It doesn't look good, you know what I mean? Nobody's going to say, "Hey, he looks great," right. And but it's not what it's about. It was just something I could do for him.
Yeah, it is, interesting how like a shirt or whatever it is, but there's when you have these memories of somebody, like what your mind starts painting the picture of like what as soon as you start thinking about them, you think, well, they're in that shirt, or they're in this whatever that so it's just those memories that are associated with them and stuff. Like it's definitely something that's kind of feels like they're a part of you still, even through that and stuff. Now that you still have that shirt and things, so
yeah, it's hung in my closet he died in 2001, and it's been in my closet since then. And every once in a while I get it out and look at it, put it on, roll the sleeves up like he did, with his his Winston cigarettes in there, and I can just see him standing by the barbecue pit with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listening to the Cardinals and cracking jokes and stuff. So yeah, it was a cool thing, and it wasn't planned, but it ended up really meaning something to me after the fact when I look back on it, and it's something that'll honor him, that'll be out there forever, honoring him,
Yeah, man. Very cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, just that's how I like to treat this show too. And like, just preserving memories and stuff, these conversations and everything else. So it's just, you have that in the video now to live on forever too, and the pictures and stuff. So I just thought that was cool. I really was moved by your story, and I'm I don't know. I really I kind of, I don't know how, if it was always that way with you and your dad, but like, I don't know, me and my dad, we've been going through some things. It's been difficult the last several years, and unfortunately we don't really talk anymore. So it's something I wish was different, and I wish we could fix, and I don't know. So so when I see things like like that, just like kind of really kind of hits me that I don't have that kind of relationship with my dad. So
yeah, well, my dad and my relationship, I was, as we've talked in other conversations, you and I was not a model son, you know what I mean? And he spent a lot of time bailing me out of jail and, just trying to teach me this, to stay on the straight and narrow and stuff. And I didn't want to. Mm-hmm. So we butted heads a lot. And he got sick with cancer somewhere around 2000, might have been 99, something like that, and it was this weird thing where we made amends with each other and we found a new footing. And but then the sicker he got, the crabbier he got, and the more angry he got, which anybody would, to some degree. And so it was rough even at the end. But, after they're gone, all that's left, it seems like, are them good memories, or at least in my experience anyways, So
yeah,
it gets rough sometimes.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've been trying to figure it all out. It's I've tried to repair it, and then we go right back to where we were, and it's just like, so it's I don't know. It's really
rough,
it's really
man.
hard, man. It's just like
a friend of mine, actually a mentor of mine, he says in every situation you got three choices. You can accept it the way that it is, adapt to it, and if you can't do either of those, you need to remove yourself from it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's kind of where we've been at. Like both me and my brother, we both kind of. It just seems like it's easier this way than the pain and stress and frustrations and everything else that come with trying to, make things different. But
yes, it's people get caught up on the family aspect sometimes. I think that's just my opinion that
right.
We can't choose our family, but sometimes we got to treat it. They're still people. We got to treat them. If a friend treated me a certain way, I'd just say I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to part ways from here, and sometimes we got to do that with family.
Yeah, families can be difficult sometimes.
Yeah. Actually, can't pick them.
Yeah. But yeah,
we went deep again, Shane. We do it every time, buddy. It's okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think I think me and you. I mean, obviously we've had the conversations. I think me and you are very similar in a lot of ways. We're both pretty sensitive guys, down deep. Like
how dare you?
Even though
I'm not sensitive.
Even though we might put on these fronts sometimes, but
our badass
gangster
fronts.
But I don't know. I think you're good at it. You're good at talking about it. Obviously, with your time with doing Crushercast, getting deep with some people and some of their stories and things, and so it just it's kind of natural. It just happens. But you, what's up with the show, man? I know we talked, and you kind of put a pause on that for the pandemic stuff and all that too, and things, and we did some, but is that you gonna get back into recording some more here again?
Yeah, Crushercast is still a love and a passion of mine. It's just I don't have if I'm gonna do it, I want to do it right, and otherwise I'm just another podcast. You know what I mean? And I think because of the nature of what we're talking about, and we're digging into people's pasts, and people are trusting me enough to get honest with me that I owe it to them and my audience to put the time in. You know what I mean? And make the best product that I can out of it. And I'm just not capable of doing that. I went back to work a little over a year ago, and working a lot of overtime and stuff like that. And I worked out a deal with a guy. I have time to do the podcast. I just don't have time to do all the editing and the post-production on them, that I, make it look the way and sound the way that I want it. And hooked up with a guy, and he's like, man, I'll do all your production, the whole shooting match. And so I gave him I've got a full episode. I've got 2 full episodes just sitting that need to be edited and all the production done to them. And I gave him one of them, and I said, just get that done, take your time, and here's the things I want done to it. And then he just ghosted me, and I never heard back. So I'm like, you know what? This is just the universe telling me now. I'm trying to push it, you know. So, I hope at some point, I just trust that everything will line back up, you know, to where, like when I was talking to you before I started, you know, you told me one of the main things is consistency. And I wasn't able to provide that, and that bums me out, you know. And so I think the best way to address that is just press pause on it until I can get back to it.
Right.
But I'm getting back to it. You know?
Man. Yeah, I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Okay, bring it. I love it.
So I've been trying to, you know, it's just like you're saying, it's sometimes real life gets in the way. You know, we don't have the producers and engineers and interns. We don't have, you know, like Joe Rogan and everybody, you know, whatever. So sometimes we are working our 40 plus, and we don't have the time to sit and do all of it as much as we like. And there's been times where sometimes I'm able to do more. Sometimes I don't do anything, and it's just like, and I feel I do want to continue to put out a solid product and consistent, but yeah, there's times where it doesn't always happen as according to plan and things, and but
every single episode I ever did had some kind of blow up behind the scenes that nobody knew about, you know. But it wasn't like I just said, okay, I don't have the time anymore. I had a couple guests that I was really excited about that were like next level stuff, and I don't even know how, you know, and they committed and everything, and then they just stopped answering messages and stuff like that. And I'm like, really? So I got frustrated. I think I talked to you a little bit about it and talked to some other podcast friends, and they say it happens. Yeah. And then that thing with the producer happened, and I was like, you know what? I'm getting too frustrated. Yeah. You know, so I just stepped back.
Yeah. I often say, like, there's definitely been those certain guests that I've, you know, I'm hit 8 years of doing the show now in May. And, you know, there's been guests I've been trying to get on the show since the beginning, and it still hasn't happened. And, you know, so it's not like I'm constantly, you know, knocking on the door asking, but it's like occasionally I'll float it out there and it doesn't happen. I'm like, but part of it, just the way I work is it just fuels me even more to where, like, pushes me to, like, work harder, and to where, like, I get the show bigger, and where and then they're wondering why they haven't done it, kind of thing. Like, you know, it's like,
you are the king of St. Louis media.
Right. But that's like, I just want to, you know, either prove them wrong or whatever it is, you know, there's that kind of mentality. So,
yeah. And that's kind of what I was thinking. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, fine. You don't want to be on the show. That's cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? But don't tell me you do. Whatever. Sure. That's fine. Down the road, you'll be like, hey, can I still come on your show? You know? But
then, and then also, just like as I said earlier too, like, as much as we got stuff, everybody else got stuff too. Yeah. So it's like, I understand, I don't knock anybody that I just, but, you know, like, cause there's been a bunch of them I've had to reschedule, and I feel bad about it. Well, like even this one, we had to reschedule but I do try to get back to it and, like, make it all come together in a timely fashion. But
to ghost, that's kind of dirty pool. You know what I mean? I'm not being a victim, but that's kind of like, come on, man, shoot me a message and say, no, I don't want to do it or something, you know.
I agree.
It is what it is.
Well, hopefully we'll get back at it here soon, and some new Crushercast, and the old episodes are still out there, right? So you can go revisit my appearance on there, or
I think yours and Jesse Kanoy are my two big hitters. Yeah. You know, everybody was great though. All of them were amazing.
Yeah. So. Jesse and Dave just got married though. It was exciting to see them making it official.
Yeah, good. They have receptions this weekend. Yeah.
So, big shout out to them.
Yeah, big love.
Yeah, and
congratulations.
I saw they just did a cool thing too with the mental health awareness thing and tattoo at the tattoo shop, and I thought that was really.
That was yesterday.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Dave posted a little video and packed house and a parking lot full and stuff. I was like. It was nice to see the people.
I think that was originally Kyle Green's idea.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle.
Yeah. So I just, I don't know, it just makes me really happy and proud to see my friends doing cool shit like that. Yeah. So it's like,
it's awesome.
Yeah. So it felt good to see how much they continue to support the community and stuff. So
yeah, awesome people.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned it, and Divide the Empire returns to the stage June 18th. Diamond Music Hall.
Yes, sir.
Kicking off your summer jams with a big old show over there. You got Inimical Drive. You got Divide the Empire. You got Lydia's Castle. And the Wild and Free.
And DJ Patrico is going to do an hour-long dance set after Inimical. And
you got the... Lern from KC.
Lern from KC.
Hosting the show.
Going to host it. And it's sponsored by Ink Spot that we were just talking about in Troy. Our family out there. And I believe Suede Dispensary as well is in on that somehow. So be a big night.
Yeah. And if you haven't been out to Diamond yet, it's a great room, big old stage and plenty of dance room. So come out and have a good time with us. And tickets available right now at eventbrite.com.
Standing in this moment, I finally come to realize holding on to nothing leaves nothing left to hide inside. Well, I'm ceasing to remember, for I'm unable to care. We become away, we become alive. The moon is running paces when we open up our minds. Then you'll become aware. Pushing through this moment, I finally reached the other side. I'm keeping my temper gas, there's no time to blink tonight. Well, I'm ceasing to remember, or I'm unable to care. When you come away, come alive. The moon is running paces inside when we open up our minds. Then will we come away?
But yeah, you guys,
We're going to open the show up that night. So
you guys haven't been on a stage in a while, though, right?
2 years.
Yeah.
But we did a birthday party with Inimical Tabby, Robbie Calories' lady, we did a birthday party, a secret birthday party for her during COVID. We weren't supposed to gather, but we did a little party, and those guys are fun. And I just got to say something though, about that show, stuff that a lot of fans don't know about. But I just want to give a shout out to Joel and the guys because we did a pre-show get together at Diamond Music Hall a couple weekends ago, and in a lot of cases, what happens is, as far as lights and sound, and especially the light show and stuff like that, your headliner is going to get full production, what they call full production, and then your opening acts are going to get differing degrees of that. So, like, your opening act might get just a light bulb turned on, on them, and then as you get deeper into the night, there's a little more production. I just can't say enough for Joel and the guys because they're giving every band that night full production, full sound, full lights, full production of the video screen and all that stuff. So, and that's rare, and that's love, that's confidence in what you're doing. So just big shout out to them guys for that.
Yeah, man. Some of the best for sure. They're good, real good guys, and always have a lot of fun hanging with them.
Mm-hmm.
Which I like this kind of trend that's been happening. Not everywhere, but I feel like there's definitely among, especially in the rock community that we have here, but this like pre-show hang, it's like a lot of, I know I've been a part of a couple of them, and it's just, feels good, just to kind of get everybody together on a night that's not the show night, just to, hang out and, because we're all, going everywhere all the time. So it's nice so you can just sit down and actually have a beverage or a snack and then hang out with them and stuff. And because the day of show, we don't hardly ever get to really hang. It's always it's a lot of running. And so, but anyway, it's just like, it's nice to see those things. But I think it was at last summer when Inimical played Diamond, we did one and they invited me to participate in that show. And so I think I joined the meeting at, you
guys got together at Shamrocks, I think, or something, didn't you?
No, I think the meeting was actually at like a show me's or something like that. Yeah, and
no distraction.
Yeah, and but yeah. Anyway, it's just so it's just interesting to get to spend some time with those guys in that capacity and just a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, so
a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, and but yeah, anyway, it's just like, I think that's really good. Build the community up. That's what I'm saying. Is like, it's more than just a show. Let's make friends and family. Let's all have fun together and throw in big badass rock and roll show.
Yeah, and big shout out to Topher and Johnny at Diamond Music Hall because from what I understand, I may be wrong and I may be talking shit here, but I believe they could have had a national act in on that night, and they loved and trusted Joel and them enough to go ahead and give them that night instead. And so big shout out to them for that. Yeah. Them investing in the original scene, rock scene in the area, so big kudos.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to see them supporting the way they are. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So come on out, get there early and enjoy the whole show and have a good time. Bring some, I'm sure, I know Divide the Empire has got some new merch. We're going to have a new DTE shirt maybe, or
I think we're going with an old classic, one that's sold out really quick. So I think there'll be some Outlaw Biker shirts nice. On hand. Yeah. We've already been through 2 or 3 batches of those. Yeah. You can't keep them.
Yeah.
So
it's a classic for sure.
It is for sure.
But yeah, man, I'm excited that you guys are back up there and getting to hopefully hear some. Maybe we'll hear the clearing, right? We'll hear that.
You'll hear the clearing. And it's all. Let's see. We're going to open with a classic, an old classic of ours, and then you'll hear a few of the ones that everybody knows along the way. But you're going to hear a lot of brand new.
Yeah.
Stuff that we've been releasing over the last 3 years, just as singles. Mm-hmm. When we're done, after the clearing, we've got one more song, and then 3 Winters Volume 3 will be done. and then the full 3 winners trilogy, if you will, will be complete, and then we'll move on to something else, and kind of figure out what we're going to do from there.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. And keep an eye out for that video again. Click subscribe on YouTube and stuff. But with Juan and Spencer are involved, it's going to be good. And so I'm excited to see the final cut of it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks cool, man. I'm happy for you guys. But I thought this would be fun to, being that we get to catch up a little bit. I thought it'd be. I know we occasionally will share some different music online, and I know you've been big on like different things, like Jason Isbell and stuff, and like you've been kind of getting into more of some of that stuff, and so I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about what some of you've been listening to. What's been current on Joe's playlist recently and things, and maybe some other stuff that. Along the way, but is there you have any current favorites that really have been speaking to you?
Man, it's I heard Jason Isbell, some years back, and with drive-by truckers and whatever, and I just I never really paid attention, I guess.
Yeah,
and it all kind of started with Tyler Childers and. A guy at work, there's a country dude at work, shout out to Magoo. Dude, he don't care. He'll listen to whatever he wants. And it's usually, some Tyler Childers or something like that, and I kept hearing this song and I'm like, it's catchy. I don't really dig it, but it's catchy. And then next thing you know, I'm like, man, I love this song. And then I began listening to what he's talking about. And it's all honest shit that you can't write about unless you've experienced it. You know what I mean? Nose to the Grindstone and some of those songs. And I just I went down this slippery slope. Next thing you know, I'm listening to Johnny Moreland a lot, and Jason Isbell, of course, the way, telling a story. People can call it country or call it whatever they want, but it's just honest music. Right. You know what I mean? They're talking about experiences that, some of that shit like Elephant and some of these songs that you can't write unless you've experienced those things, because there's little subtle things that they're talking about that, unless some of this Johnny Moreland stuff. But what's weird is I started, I think you and I have talked about it. I'm collecting, I've been writing for years, trying to write a book, just collecting ideas. And I'll listen to Jason Isbell and listen to some of these other guys and stuff, and it makes me want to go home and write, not music, write, stories from my life and stuff like that, but with their honesty, you know what I mean? Hold it up against their honesty, For
sure. Yeah, that's, those are definitely some of the guys to be inspired by, because they are, I feel like our generation's like, those are going to be the guys that were remembered, like your John Prines and your, whatever, all the, they're going to be the greats that we talk about for years, because like those guys are just so good. Yeah. Childers was one of an acquired taste for me. Like at first I remember hearing his name, and I remember like giving it a listen, and the first I think he was supposed to play I think he played Blueberry Hill, and then like he was like right on his way up at that point, and then like and then I think a couple months later he booked Del Mar Hall, and then that's when it hit, and he sold out Del Mar Hall. They bumped it up to the pageant, and I caught him at the pageant and stuff. But so I think anyway, in that early stuff, I started like listening, and I was like, I don't know, just something about his voice kind of like bothered me, like it was kind of
a whiny, scratchy,
a little bit, yeah. So it's just like it just didn't really do it for me. But then I kind of revisited. Everybody kept talking about this Childers guy, and I was like, all right. So I revisited, and I was like, maybe I'm missing something here, and I really started diving into the lyric content, and like, and that's what hooked me. Like, I mean, like this guy, like you're saying, is like an incredible storyteller. So definitely took me a minute to grow on me, but I'm really glad he's one of my absolute favorites now and stuff. And
But see, I have a caveat with him though, is that I like just him and a guitar.
oh yeah,
Like the, what is it, vinyl LP, the EP or whatever, vinyl sessions or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the 3 songs and just him and a guitar. You can hear him clapping at the beginning and had to start over. And even that, there's an honesty in the production of that that really...
That's some of my favorite stuff too.
But when he gets the full band, he kind of loses me. It gets a little too chicken picking, you know.
Virgie was one that wrecks me, man. Like it's especially as when I was going through a lot of stuff with mom being sick. Like that song is like one that like found me, and I don't know. I do feel like they find you sometimes. Sometimes you hear the right song right when you need it, or it tells your story or whatever it is, and that's the one that like I really
it's saying what you can't. You don't know how to put it into words. Yeah,
and I was like. You know, there's so much in those lines that he really felt resonated with my mom's story and what was going on at the time and stuff. So
that song's weird because it's almost an upbeat song musically, but what he's singing about is really a sad, telling a sad story. You know, kind of a sad story. But it was weird. I remember when I shared that, when I discovered that song, and I shared it on I think Facebook or something like that, and immediately you messaged me, and you were like, "Man, that song really hits me."
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I remember I got a call. I got a call one night that they were like, "This could be it," and they're like, "You need to get here." And that song came on, and like as I was like going down the highway. Not like I'd already heard it before, but it came on, and again, like, and I was like, I'm just like speeding down the highway with tears in my eyes, and I'm just like, oh shit, like, so it was just like weird how like that song's kind of been as much of a part of my life the last couple of years. So
yeah, well, there's a line in I can't remember which Johnny Moreland song it is, but that stuff just hits me between the eyes all the time, you know, and that stuff. But
so he's like. So Isabel's one like a great storyteller, like Live Oak or Elephant.
Yeah.
I mean, these are incredible stories in 3-4 minutes. Yeah. And then like Moreland's like has these lines that'll just wreck you. Like, and it's like, and
there's a line, and you probably know which one it is. And there's 2 that I'm thinking of, and I just can't remember which one it is. But it's I'm the kind of love that's hard to look at. Every time he says that line, man, it just splits me open every time I hear that line.
But I wouldn't say he's like a story. Like they're not like nothing really in his songs like truly go together. But he has these like just perfect lines of like, and I'm like, man, how did he like come up with something like that? I'm like,
now see, with him, I got a caveat with him too. I can't sit and just listen to Johnny Moreland. Yeah. But I got him in a playlist where because it's a lot of the same. Yeah. But each one is just a gem in its own. You know what I mean? Like you said, he's got lines that are that'll wreck you.
That what's crazy is like, so I got hooked on both those guys about the same time because they actually put their records out the same day. The Jason's Southeastern and John Moreland's In the Throes both came out the same day, and I think some other really like big out like some of they kind of dubbed it Americana Christmas or something like that kind of thing. You know, it's like in the middle of July, I think though. But it was just funny that these 2 incredible records came out the same exact day, and I remember like they were both on heavy rotation. I mean, they still are. I had them on my iPod at the time, and when they came out, and so. But yeah, it's just interesting that they both came out at the same time, and then and then John's toured with Jason and stuff, and they're always very linked together. Right. And then John Moreland's coming to town, playing Open Highway Music Festival here in July. So I'm excited, and he's got a new record on the way. So
that July is going to be a huge month because I'd like to see Moreland. I think Tedeschi Trucks is going to be here in July in St. Louis, and I've never seen them.
Yeah, I've never seen them either.
And I can't wait. I think they're at the Fox.
Maybe we should go.
Hey, maybe we should.
Yeah.
And then my boys I almost said in Living Color, but Living Color is going to be open for El Monstero.
Yeah.
And then the next night I'm going to go see The Cult and Black Rebel Motorcycle. Oh, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
July is going to be crazy.
Yeah, man. Everybody's out there hitting it hard now. That apparently they've been cooped up for 2 years and ready to party now.
Yeah, Jane's Addiction too. I can't remember who they said they were touring with.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh yeah. I'd rather see Jane's.
Yeah. I didn't catch. So I'm not really like big on either band, so I didn't really care. But they were both on Howard Stern the other day.
I saw the video floating around.
Yeah, together. So I was like, but I do think it's kind of an interesting tour, the two of them. But yeah, I'm not real big on either band.
Right. I'm going to ask you a question now. Yeah. If I got a hold of that phone right there and I got into your playlist, what do you got on there that you'd be embarrassed for somebody else to see?
I don't know that I would be embarrassed because there's a lot of dumb stuff on there. Like, but I don't know that I would be embarrassed.
You'd get lost in the forest of
I mean, it's because it's funny. Like some of it I listen to ironically, I think, but then I find myself listening to it a lot of times ironically. So then I'm like, maybe I just like this song, you know? So,
right.
So, that kind of stuff. There's definitely I don't know. I pulled up some weird stuff the other day. I discovered there's Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch have a song that, I've always known like Good Vibrations, and that was the big hit and thing.
Right.
But then I just recently learned that they had a song that they also, A Tribe Called Quest did Can I Kick It to that Take a Walk on the Wild Side, groove and all that stuff.
Yeah. Velvet Underground.
Yeah.
Lou Reed.
Yeah, Lou Reed. Yeah. And then, so I learned like right around that same time, Mark Wahlberg cut a song using that same exact beat and put out a Funky Bunch song. And I was just like, I just thought it was really odd. I'm like, why are you going to try to compete with Tribe Called Quest? Like that was, and it's like,
but they were probably in different studios. It just so happened they stumbled on that one probably at the same time. Yeah,
it wasn't like it wasn't a cover, but it was. They both came out like a year apart or something like that, and it was exactly the same beat. And I mean, I was just like, I was listening, and I was like waiting for it to like do something different, but no, it was exactly the same. And I was just like, but there was probably a reason why that song didn't pop like Can I Kick It though?
Right.
It wasn't nearly as cool. So
yeah.
But I don't know. There's weird stuff like that I find, and like I go through some weird deep dives into just digging up old stuff, and I don't know. So yesterday's wasn't really like embarrassing by any means, but like I learned Scarface from Ghetto Boys is coming to town, and so I went through like a long binge through a bunch of his stuff and just listening to a bunch of Ghetto Boys and Scarface.
Ghetto Boys.
Yeah.
I had one of their cassettes back in the day, and I think I had an 84 Escort with a big old speaker box in the back seat. Yeah. And which one was it? My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me, I think is the one I was jamming back in the day.
Ghetto Boys went trick or treat. Right. There's some good stuff. I don't know. So I love a lot of that, like, gangster rap stuff. I don't know, like, especially like early, a lot of Ice Cube and all, just all that era of 90s hip hop and stuff like that. Yeah, man, they, I think it's a lot of the same kind of thing that we're saying about, Jason and John Moreland and these guys. Is the truth. They speak. These are storytellers, and these guys, even though it's to a hip hop beat and stuff, but there's an honesty to it all. And these guys are. I'm not telling my story, but it's something I can relate to what that they're telling their story and stuff. So there's a lot of it. And I feel like Scarface is putting down what he lived through and stuff. And
that's like I went through the whole punk phase back in high school and stuff like that, the Black Flags and the Dead Kennedys and, DRI and stuff went before they crossed over and stuff like that. And, there's just that's honestly how those people felt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it didn't matter how good you were or how good it sounded even, you know what I mean? It was about expressing yourself, and that's where I was at the time, and I still got some Black Flag and Dead Kennedys and stuff on my gym playlist and shit, but, it's honest,
I, probably the most like embarrassing stuff I think I could think of is like, which, again, I'm still not ashamed of it or anything, but for whatever reason, I really get into like it's like Swedish pop stuff from the 90s.
Come on,
like
ABBA?
No, not like but like Roxette and blank on the damn name now. Ace of Base.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, those songs, they're good songs. They're catchy. Like, I don't know, a lot of that era of like 90s pop stuff, like, Savage Garden, I don't think they're Swedish, but that whole era of like, there's just like a lot of songs that get stuck in my head and I'll repeat. So,
mine's the yacht rock.
Yeah.
I went through a phase not too long ago, man. I was Daryl Hall and John Oates and Toto and all that stuff and Margarita Song. And I don't know, I'd called it bullshit for so long that I finally went back and listened. I'm like, it sounds great.
Yeah, there's definitely, I have pulled up a yacht rock playlist a while back and I went down that path too for a while.
Christopher Cross, dude. Yeah. I mean, come on.
I like, what's that? Brandy.
Oh yeah.
So Looking Glass. Stuff like
most of them are one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
But the Hall and Oates. Some of the old Hall and Oates stuff's pretty cool.
Yeah. Those guys definitely have a bunch of great tunes that you forget about. And you start listening, and like, oh man, yeah, forgot about this one.
Right. It's baby making music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got I think I got two pop country like ballady songs. I don't even know I can't remember what the guy's name is now that a friend sent me, and I'm not gonna listen to that. I don't want to listen to that. And then next thing you know, man, it's in my chill playlist, you know, and I listen to it all the time. And what the guy's, I can't remember Kane Brown or something like that. There's the song by him. I can't remember which one it is, but I try to act like I don't like it, but it's a cool song. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't really know much about him. I know the name, but
that's how I was. But
right,
and I didn't run out and buy his record or anything. But that song, it comes on, and I'm jamming to it. I dig it.
There's and that's like, I think that's with anything. Like, there's a reason. I'll listen to a lot of stuff like that and like trying to figure out why this is popular. It's like, and I can recognize like, there's a reason people like
catchy.
it. These are catchy songs. They're fun. They're make you want to move and whatever and stuff. So, but yeah, there's definitely stuff though that is a head scratcher for me. I'm like, I don't get like why these artists are as popular as they are. Or why?
Okay, so I'm probably gonna catch shit over this, but Rammstein, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, the riffs sound cool and stuff like that, but he could be singing a love song and it still sounds like he's scolding you. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't get it, but millions of people love it. The
only thing,
Du hast mich.
DJ Cummerbund. I don't know if you ever follow any of this stuff.
No.
He's, I don't know, one of my favorite things on the internet, but he mashes together a lot of these songs. That's all he does is like these goofy compilations, but it's always like, some very random kind of stuff. And the kicker is he always puts Macho Man Randy Savage in there somewhere.
Oh, dude.
So there's always like,
share one with me. I want to check it out.
So there's he did like what's it, Wild Cherry, Play That Funky Music, White Boy, with Du Hast. And it's like this shouldn't work, but it does. But like it's weird. It's weird how well it works out. And like there's like stuff like that. Like he did them. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I'll send you one.
Yeah, send me one. I want to check it out.
They're pretty good though. He's really good at what he does.
I'll check it out.
But yeah, I'm with you though. There's especially like that kind of stuff where I can't understand the lyrics anyway. So then it's like really hard for me to like. It could be like you're saying. It could be saying anything in there. Who knows?
Well, I mean, it's not even so much about understanding what he's saying. It's how he's saying it for me, anyways. Because I listen to death metal all the time and I can't understand what the hell they're saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it sounds cool. But him, it just sounds like I'm being scolded. You know what I mean? Like I did something wrong. Yeah. That or I'm getting ready to get raped. I don't know. I don't know which one's going to happen.
Maybe both.
Maybe both.
Yeah. You what's like the one that gets you? You said you have some of that stuff, Black Flag and things, and on your playlist. But like, do you have like your go-to workout stuff like that? What gets you pumped up to want to?
Dude, I am so. It was back before COVID. Thrice was coming to town, and I'm a huge Thrice fan. And this band, The Bronx, was opening up for them. And I didn't know it, but I was already following the drummer on Instagram, Joey C. And because Joey C, he fills in, he's the drummer for the Misfits, Black Flag, any of them need him. He did a little stint with Queens of the Stone Age and stuff like that. And I just love him. He's a great straight ahead rock punk drummer. And he's a cool dude. And come to find out, he's the drummer for the Bronx. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. Let's check it out. And so they opened for Thrice, which was the oddest thing. And as soon as they started playing, man, it was like old, like Southern California hardcore punk sound to it and vibe and everything. And the singer, Matt, he gets down in the middle, gets down in the pit, and he every once in a while the singer will get down there and he'll go, he'll hang out down there for a minute and then get back up on stage. He stayed down there for 3 songs, dude, and ripped that place apart. The whole, even people that didn't even know, like me, I'm standing up screaming at the top of my lungs. Right. I brought a date. She's looking at me like I'm a lunatic, but it was amazing. So those guys, man, I'm all about them on my playlist. Especially gym playlist and shit like that. Yeah. And I run a lot. So, and they're all up tempo and it's just good jams, man. Right. So check them out, the Bronx.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to do that because I don't really know anything about them. So
yeah, they're great.
That's one of my favorite things is about asking some of these questions is that discovering something new to deep dive on.
Yeah. And it's not all like some of their older stuff leans more towards like a hardcore punk sound. But as they've gotten older and more mature, it's they kind of did the same thing that like Suicidal Tendencies did. They branched a little more into the hard rock, even a little bit of metal scene. So.
Yeah. Well, very cool, man. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I got a couple questions I've been going around asking Joe, and I'll get your while we're talking about some of this stuff and get your take on all these. But what would be a fictional band that you would love to see live, like
Piece It Together?
No, like from movies or TV or something. Is there a certain band that comes to mind?
I'm going to be lame in this, but Stillwater, the band from Almost Famous.
Yeah. That would be fun.
I think they'd be a cool hang and a good show.
Such a great movie too.
Yeah. Anything Cameron Crowe, I love.
I keep, I've asked a couple of different, obviously a lot of different answers come up, but I was like, one I don't think we mentioned yet. I think that I thought about the other day is Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. Oh, that would be a fun.
That would be a fun. We eat some pizza while we watch them jam the Muppets.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But I've been watching Holy Moly. I don't know if you ever catch that show. It's honestly one of the best shows on TV.
What?
Low key. I don't think anybody. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, but it is hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's
you're talking to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Well, so Holy Moly, it's a game show. It's kind of essentially it's putt golf. It's hosted by Rob Riggle.
Okay.
So he's just like
I like him.
Cracking jokes the whole time.
I like him.
But he commentates over it like like real golf kind of thing, and then there's so that's basically it. It's just like this, and it's sort of like a mashup of like a putt golf and like Wipeout. Like there's like a So
love those shows.
Yeah, so like they have to like do something to get to the other side of the course, and if they fall in the water, then they lose a stroke and that kind of thing like that. So it's so anyway, highly entertaining, makes me laugh.
Where's that? What's that on?
It's on ABC on Sundays, I think, or something like that.
So
But
network TV.
yeah, but Rob Riggle host and with another guy, Joe. And but for whatever reason, this season, I guess since they're on ABC and things, like they have the Muppets, like so, like every episode's had like the Muppets, like in little skits, kind of cutaway things with them and stuff. So
I'll check it out.
That's where that idea kind of came. Like I was like, oh yeah, it was like there was something with Animal earlier in in one of the episodes, and they like Rob was talking to him about like trying to get ideas, and they of course like. It was like the animal and like Swedish Chef and and he does and the chicken and like so like he was like they were talking and it was like just making noises and he's like why what was that I don't understand you guys like that kind of thing.
Right.
So it's if you like just mindless entertainment
that's Wipeout. I can put on Wipeout and just laugh my ass off forever. So I just thought of another band though.
Okay.
Touch Me I'm Dick. From Singles.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
It was the movie Singles.
I don't think so.
Come on, another Cameron Crowe. It was about the grunge scene. Pearl Jam was in it.
Really?
Yeah, the soundtrack's amazing. But Pearl Jam is like the backing band, and Matt Dillon's the singer.
Okay.
And his band is Touch Me I'm Dick. So, but it's fun.
Great band name.
Yeah, great band.
Yeah, I'll have to look that one up. I don't think I know that movie.
I can't. Come on.
I've told you, like I have a real hard time. There's all sorts of movies that I've missed because I for a long time it was just like I only watched like comedy movies. Like I mean, like I watched like Goodfellas like way after everybody, that kind of thing. Like you kept hearing people talk about, oh, you got to see this movie, and I'm like, those kind of things, and I'm like, no, I don't know. Is Chris Farley in it? Then I'll watch it, like that, that kind of thing. So I just was stuck in that where I like what I like, and I watch all these. Goofy,
check out Singles.
Yeah,
you get a chance. The soundtrack's top shelf.
Yeah. All right. But I got definitely now more as an adult. There's a lot of stuff I've been finding more of appreciation for and stuff. So
yeah.
But anyway, all right. Day comes along. You got your Divide the Empire action figures. What would you like to see your accessories to be with your action figure?
I got to keep this safe for work.
That's
no. Man, that's a good one. And you're just talking mine, not the rest of the band.
Well, you can answer for those guys if you want.
I'll answer for those guys.
Yeah, right. If you got some ideas for them.
Let's see. Randy's superpower would be to stay on topic and stay focused for a while. He's got a little bit of an ADHD thing going on. We tease him about that. Man, I don't know. That's a good one. Dude, I don't know. You stumped me. I don't know. Keith's superpower would be to show up to practice.
Do you have any
detachable arms or something like that?
Sure. Oh yeah. I mean, sometimes people just go generic with guitar or what kind of thing, but yeah, I don't know if there was any certain accessories that you think when you think of those guys or you think of yourself, like what would be defining things?
Oh, my accessory would definitely be toilet paper. Lots of it. And some wipes for me. But
I don't know what it is, but I went to Sam's the other day and some guy, I mean, who knows what he was buying it for, but he had two giant things of toilet paper and that's all I can think about. Like, man, that guy's, must be doing a lot of pooping and like, yeah, like, but I just, that's where he could be just buying it for some event, whatever, some, but.
Well, definitely my superpower is stinking up the rehearsal space. Right. I usually run them out of there. Yeah. It's a gift. So it's a curse at the same time.
So your action figure might be like scratch and sniff or something. Like
yes. Yes. That's my superhero now. Scratch and sniff. Oh, you got me with that one. That was a tough one.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Is there a dream duet or collaboration you would like to see for yourself or the band? Is there a certain somebody come to mind that you want to work with?
Nobody specific, but there's always been something that I've wanted us to do as a band is to have not necessarily a duet, maybe a duet, but and Randy's been open to it, but we've just never found the right voice. But I've always wanted to have a female sing a song with Randy, whether that be backing vocals or something like that. I just think his voice lends well to that. And I think we could really do something kick ass with that.
Yeah.
As far as me personally, I mean, I just like to do a stripped down. It wouldn't even matter who. It could be St. Louis people. I've talked to Randy about doing it a few times, but just do like a stripped down, not necessarily country record, but just a stripped down, honest acoustic record. Just a guy in a microphone or a girl in a microphone, and maybe a few other people playing some low key stuff. But that's a dream for me. So
yeah,
maybe when Divide slows down a little bit, that's something I've always wanted to produce. So maybe that's something I'll jump into.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's like, that's something I'm very passionate about also. That's like some of my favorite stuff, just songwriters and guitars but yeah, I'm hoping I feel like I'm getting, I've been getting a lot of on-site practice with, trying to record all these bands and trying to push myself to get better all the time. And, still got a long way to go, but that's my goal is like maybe someday I can get into actually producing some artists or doing something like that and actually being more hands-on in the process. And so, yeah, it'd be fun to be part of something like that.
Yeah. Everybody seems now, and this is just my opinion, and, everything has its place. But everything is so overproduced now. And the only stuff that's really hit that's why I'm listening to the stuff I'm listening to. And this is just my opinion, but, there's nothing in the metal and hard rock scene that's really grabbing me because everything's so overproduced. There's like we talked earlier, there's an honesty in a guy and a guitar or, even just something stripped down or people in this world, even people just really playing in the studio as opposed to playing a riff 3 times and then they'll copy and paste it in, and fill stuff in. Much less people actually playing on stage, without backing tracks and stuff like that. It's rare these days. So when I hear that or see that, man, that grabs me. So I think that's why I gravitate. Right now I'm gravitating towards the singer-songwriter stuff,
Yeah.
There's an honesty in it.
What I didn't forgot to ask about it, but was the Clearing also recorded? You guys go back to Firebrand to do that?
Yep. That's our home. We'll record everything there. Brian, we were laughing when we were in there doing the mix or doing post right before this. We sent it off for mix or had him do the mix. Is that he's basically the 6th member. You know what I mean? He has freedom to say, hey, let's do this. He's not our producer. We produce our own stuff, but he knows us so well. We've spent so much time in there, and he can almost do it before we do it. You know what I mean? And so we're back there. Everything's done there. And we had a lot of people master. There's only been one of our songs that he hasn't, as far as the 3 Winners collection, there's only been one song that he didn't do, which was Prescriptions, which Bo Hill, he mixed, mastered, and kind of engineered that one. But then again, we recorded it Firebrand, and Brian tracked it for us. He recorded it, and then we sent it off to Bo Hill, obviously, multi-platinum producer and stuff like that. And he put that one together for us and mastered it and sent it back. But we moved away from sending stuff out to get mastered elsewhere, and we've just been letting Brian do it, and everything's coming across, just as industry standard as anything else, So
yeah, I do think it would be interesting just to see, like you said, you tried with one song and but just to try with some other different people too, just to see what happens. But how to challenge yourself to maybe try something. Mix it up too, but I don't know. I think when I think about the duet and collaboration and question and stuff, I think it would be interesting to work with guys like a Rick Rubin or or something, whatever. Some of these legends in the business and and just get their ideas of how they hear it and what something you may never thought of it at all. And well, man, I'm I would have never guessed that, but you're right. That works and that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, I think it was before we started putting together the songs for Volume 3, or the ideas. We investigated maybe going out and having somebody else do stuff for us. And we sent some stuff to some people and said, what would you do with this? And they sent us backs and yeah. They had great ideas, and a lot of them really wanted to cut stuff up and move it around and do this. And it's like, no, we got a song written. We just need somebody to record it. We didn't need a producer and to that. But like you're saying, sometimes those greatest moments, if Rick Rubin wouldn't have told Johnny Cash to try these songs, we wouldn't have those songs today the way that they are. So, there's something to be said for that. But,
it's all. Everybody's got their own thing, whatever it is, their personal preferences. I'm not saying what you guys are doing is wrong in any way, but I just think it's always interesting to collaborate and get some fresh eyes on something and see what, people might push you in some new direction and things. So.
Yeah. Well, that's prescription. So I don't know if I've ever told you this story or not, but, so we put Carnival Ride out with the video. And I get this phone call, or actually I got an email first. I'm sorry. I got an email and it said, this is Bo Hill, multi-platinum producer, blah, blah, blah. And I saw your video Carnival Ride and I'm interested in doing a song with you guys. And I'm like, whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever. So first of all, I had to go look up who Bo Hill was and come to find out, he was a producer for the first 3 Rat records, Fiona, Bob Dylan, the list goes on, Bad Brains. He's worked with tons of people that I love. And I'm like, holy crap. Okay. If this is real, this is weird, and it gave a number. And so I talked to the guys and they were like, yeah, go ahead. It ain't going to hurt. Just make the phone call. Well, I went and listened to a few of his interviews. So I know he's got a distinct voice and I know what his voice sounded like. So I called and, hello, this is Bo Hill, and it was him. And I'm like, okay. And he was just banging around his kitchen. You know what I mean? And, talked to me and he knew immediately. He's like, yeah, I really love Randy's voice and like this. And so we're excited, and it was within our budget to work with him. And, so he says, do you have any ideas laying around? And I'm like, well, yeah, we got this one, Prescriptions. And, we can send you that and see what you think. He goes, okay, send it over. So sent it over and he loved it. He said, I'd love to work on it. And it was just a demo. So he said, get with Brian, get with your guy and get it tracked and then have him, get with me. So we track it and we're excited and we're stoked. We're going to work with this producer and it's going to be great and all this stuff. And Brian sends it over to him and Bo Hill sends me a message, says, okay, I'm going to get started on it. So give me a few days and I'll start sending you some roughs and stuff like that. Perfect. So he sends some roughs and we're liking what he's doing and everything. And then he goes, okay, well, if you guys like it, I'm going to go ahead and lock it down. I got a few little tweaks I'm going to do to it. Well, he did some big tweaks to it. And then he sent it back and I loved it. It sounded great. And so I sent it out to everybody. And we have a rule in the band that if you're the one that makes contact with whoever, whether it's a promoter, a booking agent, or whatever. You're the one that stays in contact. You're the one that communicates with that person. So I'm the one communicating with Bo Hill and send it out, and immediately Randy comes back and goes, I hate it. I'm like, what do you hate it? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Tell him I don't like it. So I'm like, I've got to call Bo freaking Hill and tell him we don't like what he did with our song, a measly us. And so I call, I'm like, oh my God. And I'm pacing around and I'm like, all right, okay, I'm just going to call this dude. So I called him and I said, hey, Bo. And he's like, well, what'd they think? And I'm like, yeah, don't like it. And he's like, oh, okay, what didn't you like about it? And then his demeanor just completely changed. And he was a little cold after that, you know what I mean? And I'm like, well, we didn't dig this, and this. And he's like, okay, well, you get one edit. And if that's what they edit you want. So he actually went back to a previous version and sent it mastered and sent us that. And I get it. I get it, and I haven't even opened it yet. And Randy calls and goes, you know what? I changed my mind. I really kind of dig it. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to kill you, dude. I'm going to kill you. So the one we put out was not the official Bo Hill one, the way he wanted it. But yeah, that was my experience with my collaboration working with somebody else.
Yeah. That'd be interesting to. I don't know. I like a lot of that. Like I like those kind of stories, and I like hearing B-sides and different alternate takes on songs and like all those kind of. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to be friends with a lot of different bands and hear some of those demos and different original ideas of what songs were, whether the idea of what they were going for compared to what is what we know of the song stuff. Right. So like it's interesting to kind of be involved in that process and hearing those alternate versions of songs. And
yeah, Randy and I laugh because we end up going back and listen. Like if you look on my playlist to a lot of Divide the Empire songs, I'm listening to the demos because we fall in love with those. We listen to those thousands and thousands and thousands of times and all their little imperfections and stuff, and we fall in love with those. And then by the time the song is done and ready for distribution, it's we're sick of hearing the song to begin with, and then that we get this version that isn't the one that we've grown to love, and Randy's the same way, he and I both listen to a lot of demos more than we do anything.
Yeah. It's a funny business, it's like the fact that I think it's what's been the theme of this whole show is like there isn't the honesty is in that original demo.
Yeah.
And then you guys have tweaked it so much you kind of sometimes that whatever it was that made that special kind of gets lost in the different translation, so
yeah, it loses just a little bit of the magic.
Yeah. But so yeah, I think there's something to be said about, that's like kind of the beauty of going in and just cutting it live, like with the band instead of tracking all the different stuff and all that, just like there's certain raw energy that's created in a room like that with a band. So I don't know, but that's the fun of music. I think and compared to a live show, compared to album recordings and stuff. I mean, that's all you're doing is trying to do your best job at capturing that moment and
lightning in a bottle, as they say.
Right. So, but yeah, man. I don't know. Hopefully, this will be the start. Much more Divide the Empire tunes coming, and
for sure.
And so again, keep an eye out for the clearing on the coming really soon, and be sure to pick up some tickets to see Divide the Empire live at Diamond Music Hall on June 18th, and hopefully that'll be the start of some more shows for you guys too, and all these things. So we're just getting warmed up again, But yeah, man, and I'm gonna force you to do some more Crushercast, whether you like it or not. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I appreciate you doing this today, buddy. That's been a lot of fun.
I love you so much, man, and it's I'll jump at any chance I can to sit down with you and chat, man. I just love doing it.
Yeah, well, I love you, man. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and always fun to catch up and shoot the shit a little bit. So
right, let's do it again soon.
I would like that. All right. Thanks, Joe. Bye, everybody.
Bye.